What's going on, everybody? So back again with another video. Wanted to kind of throw this little video out for you guys, give you guys an updated toolbox tour of my Matco 4S series double bay box. Come along, let's get into this video and show you guys an updated tour of the box. Let's go. Here it is, Matco 4S double bay box. It is the silver vein. So go ahead and get into this video. We'll go ahead and start with the first drawer at the top. So the first one here, keep all my sockets and everything in here. Got some Harbor Freight back here, some impact sockets, some Matco over here, some miscellaneous 12 points and other deep well sockets, standards over here. A couple, got one that's broken here. Adapter, some spark plug sockets, and of course a little wobble here. Under here we got tire pressure tool, snap-ons, some extensions, batteries, more extensions, razor blade, iPad for work. This is company iPad, so yeah, I know it's pink, it's company iPad. Got 5-piece oil filter socket set from Matco. Got the 5 pieces in here from 24 all the way up to 35 and 36. Keep some stuff in here, some miscellaneous stuff, gum, some hand sanitizer. Got a lot of pins and things in here. Paint pen, mirror, little pocket screwdriver, brake tool, pocket knife. You never know when you need to cut a box or something. Got some screw extractors or bolt extractors here. These aren't really the greatest. I think I picked these up from when I needed them for something small project from Harbor Freight. Got some 1/4-inch sockets here, short and deep well. These are all Matco sockets here. These are some Harbor Freight deep wells. These actually work really well. I haven't had any issues out of them, nor have I had any issues out of the teeth in them. Got some Matco short wells. Got one out in a moment. Got one I have to replace here from Matco. This is actually a short or semi-deep socket. I believe this is a Stanley or Craftsman I replaced. Got some impact swivels back here. Got some other miscellaneous impact sockets, some 20 or 18 all the way up to 24 over here. Got a special one just for doing those really tight wheels with the aftermarket ones with those Jeeps and stuff like that. Another miscellaneous 12-point socket for Honda crank. Flywheel bolt. Got some other stuff here, some flip sockets from Snap-on. I have a good variety of stuff here, so I don't have just Matco or Snap-on. Most of these racks are either from Snap-on or Blue Point, some Snap-on, or some of these Hanson trays or whatever. These are the ADV Matco 1/4-inch magnetic sockets. Those ranges all the way from 5 all the way up to 15. So they have the magnet in them. Some more standard 1/4-inch drive. Don't have too many standard deep wells, so I just have a couple miscellaneous ones just acquired along the way, or as needed really. Over here we got some more standard over here. All this is my metric, this is my standard stuff over here, as you can tell. Again, more Matco stuff, a couple other various ones, Craftsman's, some other ones Craftsman's as well. Got some Matco and Snap-on swivel adapters. I've got a Torx, some other Allens, deep Torx here for 1/4-inch drive. Got some more impact Torx. Usually I use these more on like some of the heads and stuff that I really need to get in tight spots. Some more impact swivels. These are Harbor Freight as well. This is the other miscellaneous impact sockets. Some of these are standard, some of the other ones over on the other side are metric. So that's pretty much it. Got some more small 1/4-inch and all the way up to a 1/2-inch Torx here, and some Allens and a few other things. So let's move on to the next drawer. Second drawer here is the wrench and ratchet drawer. All you see here, I've got a good miscellaneous again, guys. Got some These are actually the Silver Eagle sets from Matco, and I do have Matco and some other ones as well. Some of these I just kind of got acquired over time. Some of the Craftsman, some of this other stuff, Autocraft, Ace, ProMark. Some of the stuff I just needed as I went along. Some of this Harbor Freight, Pittsburgh stuff I just kind of bought to use when I first started. Some crow's feet here. I've got over here, as you can see, these are, I actually love this set from Matco. This is 90 tooth ratcheting wrenches. Really smooth ratchet wrenches. Love these. They even have kind of like a flank drive in there as well. They really bite anything I use them on. As you can see, I've got some Matco again, some more Silver Eagle standard. I even have some of the Craftsman, really tiny stuff for various things I just have along the way. Got crescent wrenches here, pipe wrenches, even have the snap-on PWZs. Have a wrench extender, Matco wrench extender here to attach onto a wrench. As far as ratchets go, we have quarter-inch Harbor Freight, quarter-inch Harbor Freight swivel or a rotary head, whatever you want to call it. I love this ratchet. It does very well for the money. As far as this one goes, I would take this ratchet over most of these quarter inches right here. Got a little bit ratchet you use for small tight spaces like dashes and stuff. This is actually USA Craftsman here. This one's been around for a good while. This one here is a Silver Eagle as well, from Matco. This is probably my more favorite one here, the gearless, toothless from Snap-on. This one here is the 1/2 inch long body from Harbor Freight. Still not a bad ratchet. I don't really use a whole lot of 1/2 inch stuff unless it's impact wise, but if I'm having a ratchet on something bigger, it gets the job done, so I don't really use a whole lot of 1/2 inch. Again, this is a Harbor Freight. This is a Snap-on. Love this one. This is probably my more favorite go-to here. I'm not going to go through all the part numbers. This is an 80 tooth. Love this one here. Again, flex head. Another Snap-on flex head. This one's actually a 36 tooth. It's a little bit older, but I mainly use this one just for fluids and oil changes and stuff like that. That's more my go-to, so I'm not having to worry about getting my grips too oily or having to come back to it and they're just really dirty and greasy. I also use this one a lot for doing oil changes, just because, again, I try to keep them a little light oiling on there, not too much. So I don't try to do too much with the Pittsburgh and Harbor Freight stuff, but most of the stuff I do use, it's my go-to ratchets or my two Snap-ons, my other Snap-on. And again, this is probably one of my more go-tos just because it can fit in some of those tighter spaces. This one here is a 3/8 breaker bar from Craftsman. I think a lot of people have this set. Again, I have the other 3/8 ratchet that compared to this one. This one I've probably had for years and years. I believe this is like a Black & Decker or Stanley, something like that. Got some more Pittsburgh stubbies. These actually do really well. Again, for what they are, they go from 8 to 18. So if you're doing some type of transmission work or transfer cases, they usually work really well for that in those tight spaces. This is actually a Hyper Tough set, and I've compared them side by side to Gear Wrench, and I do have some Gear Wrench in my box as well, mixed in with a few other wrenches, flex heads, and these have every time beat my Gear Wrench every single time. I actually picked these up from Walmart. It was actually a full set. I'm missing like a 12 out of it. Lost it somewhere along the way. This is actually another Hyper Tough set. I really just bought it for the stubbies for a home project and just brought it to work because it had some of the stubbies I really needed in it when I can't get a ratcheting wrench in there and I'm just using it just for something small and tight space. So let's move on to the next drawer. As you can see, mine aren't the full drawers. I have the two sides over here. So we'll go ahead and start with this side over here. This is the pliers drawer. A little bit of everything again. I have pretty much various things in my toolbox. So I've got some plastic hose clamp, pinch off pliers. So if I need to pinch a hose off or if I'm doing some type of evap test or emissions testing there. I have the Matco locking extended flex pliers. I love this. Comes in really good handy when you're working around heater core hoses and things. I've got some channel locks here, some extended needle nose. These are just some cheap ones I've had probably for years on end. Some wire cutters and strippers. Some trim tool pliers, lock and vice grips. These are from Vampire Tools. They actually sent me these. I love these. Anytime I have something I need to cut small, it really does the job. These are just some Cobalt PVC cutters. I use them if I need to cut some hose or make a fitting or something. It's really what all I use those for, is just for cutting some heater hose off or repairing a line or something. This is the Silver Eagle set from Matco, the small ones. I don't really use these much, but for small electrical stuff, this is probably the best set I've probably seen. It's not really an expensive set, but I know it looks very similar. Like if I pull this one out, it kind of looks like very similar to the one that you can find at Harbor Freight, but it says Silver and Eagle. It's actually a pretty good set that I purchased. So moving on to the next drawer. Next drawer is the screwdriver, trim tool drawer, picks, just various things. I actually picked this 6-piece setup from Harbor Freight, and it has lasted. I've actually had 2 of the snap-ons, and both of them got lost, or stuff runs off along the way. Some picks. We got some T handle torques. This is probably my favorite set. I've only had one of these twist on me on the ends, and I believe it was like a T30, I believe, and I've had it warrantied out recently, so it's really held up for what it was. Matco set here of the screwdrivers, picks as well, snap-on, and some Harbor Freight mixed in there again. This drawer here, a little bit of everything, some drill bits, miscellaneous drill bits, hog rings, some valve stems, ACO rings. This again is like a little screw head extractor picked up from Vampire Tools. They sent me as well. Miscellaneous brushes, steel heads, nylon heads, some other little drill body 1/4-inch quick bits. Use this just for little small stuff. I don't really use too much of them. I had one break on me. Wasn't really too worried about it. This one here, this is just a mechanic stethoscope. This is my trim tool set. Actually missing a piece now because one of them got lost and another one got broke. So this I actually picked up off Amazon. I think it was like 15 bucks. Rivet guns, plastic and metal rivets, some scrapers. Next drawer down is kind of like the beaten up drawer. I do have the full kit. The other ones are actually on my oil cart to my left that I usually keep on there, so I can quickly go and as needed if I need to drain some oil or something. These are just some pry bars I keep in here. My big pry bars off to the side. I just use this just for stuff. This is actually a hubcap removal tool, so you're not breaking the hubcaps and having to force them off. Pickle fork, everybody knows what a pickle fork is for tie rods and ball joints. C-clamp, brake tool. I love this brake tool, and it's held up almost every brake job. If I can't use it, I'll use some clamps or whatever. Seal puller, belt tool, my main go-to hammer. This is actually a wheel stud installer from Lyle, and stud remover. This is actually a stud remover for like head bolts or exhaust bolts and stuff. Impact driver. And now at the bottom, this is probably the worst drawer out of all. I keep all kinds of miscellaneous stuff in here. Torch, suction cups. These actually work for body, but I use them to hold up windows if I'm doing a regulator or something. It actually does really well. I put one on each side. I've got 2 of them. Another small torque wrench. That's a Harbor Freight one. I quit using it because it came out of calibration, and I'm just not even worried about it. I got a snap-on in there as well. I'll go back and show you guys that. Just some other drill bits, miscellaneous containers for nuts and bolts and washers, rivets, trim tools, stuff like that. Coming over to the other side, air tool and power tool drawer. It's a little bit of a mess right now. I've got some miscellaneous tools in here I'm trying to get rid of and switch over some of my other stuff. And my Allen wrenches and stuff. I got some air hammer bits. This is just a cheap one I've had for years and years. I've had this one. This is one from Harbor Freight. and it is not held up. I burned it up twice, so I burned it up this last time and just threw it in the drawer and been done with it. 1/2-inch body snap-on drill. Love this thing. Just recently had it rebuilt on the head because the head stripped out. That's the only issue I've had out of it the whole time I've had it, in probably about a year. Air gun for a blowgun, air ratchet. This is another brand that's similar to Harbor Freight, and it looks almost identical, as you can kind of tell. I don't remember, I've had this one probably for about 8 years. And this is my Matco Impact. Long neck 1/4-inch snap-on ratchet. This is probably my newest purchase that I recently picked up, and I love this ratchet, and it's probably my best purchase so far, other than some of the other power tools. And here I've got the Matco cordless or brushless, and the 14.4 drill body or hex gun from Snap-on. I probably used that one for about 3 years, and it's taken a beating, and it's still held up with original batteries. This is an electrical drawer, Snap-on circuit tester with the LED on it, and display. I don't really use that one too much, just because I use it for certain various different things if I need to know the voltage on it. My go-to right now is this circuit tester from OTC. Got some fuses and butt connectors. Don't really use butt connectors very often, but I keep just some various fuses in there, some various screws, wire strippers. These are probably the best wire strippers I've ever purchased. Actually, I picked these up from Harbor Freight for maybe like 20 bucks, and it's probably held up. Got some test leads, some miscellaneous bulbs, miscellaneous Dodge key fob, some relays, fuse puller, sockets, some battery adapters in here, Snap-on multimeter, voltmeter. I don't want to try to open this thing. Let's see. Just recently picked this one up a couple months ago, and everything I've used it on has been true and accurate. This is an auto ranging meter, and every time I use it, it goes right to where I need it to be, and I don't have to play with the settings too much. Temp gun, razor blade, Power Pro for soldering, radiator fin tool kit for if you got some bent fins in a radiator or cooler or whatever, it'll kind of help straighten those fins back out. I just keep this one in here just for whatever purposes. This is a little cheap measuring tape. Next one down is the special tools drawer. This is probably the most expensive one in the whole toolbox because of all the special tools in here. Snap-on coolant tester, front wheel drive, socket set or axle nut set from Harbor Freight, bit set, compression tester, tap and die set, master fuel pressure tester kits, vacuum tester from Mighty Vac, and I've got also up underneath that I have the wind back kit and spark tester Noid kit, quick connect compression tester from Harbor Freight. This one actually works really well. I've had no issues. I've compared it to Snap-on, and I've had absolutely no issues out of it. And accuracy wise, it's almost dead on where it needs to be compared to higher end gauges. So as far as I go, it's a pretty good set. I got the fuel injection tester. This one is not a complete kit. It's missing a couple others, but I've got some various fuel lines I use to adapt into it. And that's the wind back kit from Matco for brakes. So I've got some heat sleeves here from Mechanics, window trim tool, Matco scan tool, some more tap and die sets, bearing puller, bearing wrench driver set, and because I missed it, you guys might have missed it, this is my Snap-on torque wrench. It is the high vis 1/2-inch drive set. This is probably, I've had no issues accuracy wise out of this torque wrench. I've had it for several months now since putting this video up. It is the high vis again. This is my favorite style turn dial. If I need to adjust it, all I need to do is just flip this lever out turn the dial, adjust it where it needs to be, close it back, lock it, and use it as needed. This one is actually not the reversible, so it doesn't have the on and off switch up top. I wish it did, but my guy gave me a good deal on this one, and it has held up so far so good. Alright guys, so I appreciate everybody watching this video. I hope everybody got a good enjoyment seeing all the tools I've got, as well as I've got the pry bar over here behind me. As you guys can see, it is a huge pry bar that extends all the way to the floor almost. It is a pretty good pry bar. I purchased this one. This is not a Snap-on. It is actually a completely different brand. I don't remember where I've got it from. It's probably been about 2 years. And I've used it, beat and banged. There's no rust on it. A little bit of grease, but or just scarring on it from the handle. Other than that, I've had no issues out of most of my tools. Again, I use so many different brands out there, guys, and I know you guys probably do as well. Craftsman, Matco, Mac, Cornwell, whatever you guys like to use, Milwaukee. There's so many different brands out there, and I know somebody's probably going to say, you know, why'd you buy that or whatever. I know somebody's going to have some comments, so if you guys have any comments, questions, or whatever you guys want to discuss in the comments below, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up notification bell as well to keep to date on all the videos that come out on my channel as well. And till next time, guys, that's all the time I got for you guys. We will see you guys in the next one.